Yeah, this is Dr. Kumar from Department of Management, Kristu Jayanti College, Autonomous, Bangalore. According to BBA curriculum, first year, first semester curriculum, and all management studies, you have to study, you have to learn. And the next topic, we are going to learn the types of businesses. What are the different types? Business activities may be broadly divided into two categories. They are industry and commerce. The business activities may be broadly divided into two categories. The first one is industry and the second one is commerce. Let me learn what is industry. Industry is concerned with manufacturing of goods and services. What is commerce? Commerce is concerned with the exchange of goods and services. Industry is manufacturing of goods and services. Commerce is exchange of goods and services. There are two components in commerce. Let me learn about commerce. There are two components. They are, first one, trade, and second one is aids to trade. What is trade? The process of purchase and sale of goods and services is called trade. And what is aids to trade? The activities which facilitate commerce are aids to trade. They are transportation, insurance, banking, warehousing, packaging, arising, etc. This will be helpful for the commerce. That's why we can call it as aids to trade. Then let me learn about trade. What is trade? Trade is an integral part of commerce. All activities of commerce revolve around the trade. The activities of buying and selling of goods is trade. Trade may be broadly classified into two categories. The first one is internal trade and the second one is foreign trade. Actually, what is this internal trade? The internal trade, we can call it as a home trade. Or we can call it as it refers to actually internal trade, we can call it as inland trade or domestic trade. So the internal trade or home trade refers to sale and exchange of goods within the boundaries of a country. Both buying and sellers or buyers and sellers live in the same country. Payments are made in the national currency. This trade is also known as inland trade or domestic trade. On the basis of scale of operation, the home trade can be classified into two types. One is wholesalers and retailers. The wholesale trade, what is wholesale trade? This involves the purchase of goods on a large scale from the producer and sold in small quantities to the retailer. A person who is engaged in this type of trade is called as a wholesaler. And second one is a retailer. This involves the purchase of goods in large quantities from the wholesaler and sell them to the final and ultimate consumer. The person who is engaged in this type of trade is called retail trade. So he creates a link between wholesaler and consumer. The wholesaler creates a link between manufacturer and the retailer. And what is the second one is foreign trade. What is, we can call it as an international trade. It's also known as external trade. The trade which takes place between two or more countries is called foreign or international trade. It means buyers involved in one country and the sellers is in another country. This type of trade involves payment in foreign currencies. It may be further classified into three categories. The first one is export trade. Second one is import trade. And third one is interport trade. Actually, what is the export trade? When a country sells goods to another country is called export trade. Export trade involves home goods for foreign use. For example, take India. India sells poultry products to Gulf countries. and T to USA. That is export. And second one is import trade. When a country buys goods from another country, it is called import trade. It constitutes the procuring foreign goods for home use. India buys machinery from West Germany. It is imported trade. And the third one is interport trade. When goods are imported from one country and the same are exported to another country, such a trade is called interport trade. That means here what we are doing means we are importing goods from one country, and then we are not selling the goods to domestic country, but we are selling the goods, same will be exported to another country. We can call this type of trade as interport trade. For example, electronic goods imported from Japan and exported to Africa. So we are doing that. We can go as a interport trade. And then second one is commerce. The exchange and distribution of goods and services is called commerce. According to James Stephenson, commerce is an organized system for the exchange of goods between the members of the industrial world. It establishes the link between the producer and the consumer. The activities which facilitate commerce are banking, transportation, insurance, warehousing, packaging, and advertisement, etc. According to James Stephenson says, commerce is the sum total of those processes which are engaged in the removal of several hindrances in the process of flow of goods and services from the producer to consumer. And the next topic we are going to learn, that is hindrances in the practice of exchange of goods and services. Hindrances. What is hindrances? Hindrances are nothing but obstacles. There are many kind of hindrances or obstacles standing in the way of trade or transfer of goods from the producer to the consumer. Commerce plays an important role in removing the hindrances in the process of exchange of goods and services. What are the different hindrances? What are the obstacles? The first obstacle, the first hindrance is nothing but hindrances of persons. Goods are generally produced in few places, while the consumers spread throughout the country. This is no direct relationship between the producer and the consumer. Trade acts as an arbiter between producer and the consumer. The chain of wholesalers, retailers, brokers, agents, etc. reduces the distance between the producers and consumers. Thus, the trade facilitates easy exchange of goods by removing the hindrances of persons. The second hindrances are nothing but hindrances of place. Goods produced in a place or distributed to various places in the country and also exported to another country. Commerce reduces the distance between the producers and the consumers. The services like transportation, banking, insurance, packaging, etc. are useful in removing the hindrance of transporting of goods from the place of production to the place of consumption. The third hindrance is nothing but a hindrances of time. The production of some goods take place only in a few seasons in a large scale, but the consumption of these goods is spread throughout the year in a smaller quantities. During this time, gap between the production and the consumption, the product is to be stored in godowns and warehouses. And the fourth hindrance is hindrances of finance. Sometimes trade needs financial assistance. In such circumstances, banks and other financial institutions provide finance in the shape of overdraft, loans, and cash credit. Hence, banks plays an important role in overcoming the hindrances of finance. And the fifth hindrance is hindrances of knowledge. The consumers may not be aware of the availability of various goods in the market. The absence of information about goods is a greater hindrance in the way of consumer buying them. Advertisement helps in avoiding the hindrance of information about the availability, benefits, features, price ranges, etc. of the product in the market. And the fifth, sixth hindrance is nothing but hindrances of risk. There is a risk involved in transporting goods from one place to another. There may be a risk due to fire or theft. It acts as an obstacle in the development of trade. The insurance companies provide a coverage for all type of losses of goods. This is all about hindrances to trade. And next we'll go for industry. Actually, what is industry? Industry is the backbone of commerce and trade. The growth and development of trade and commerce depend upon the scope of industry. The activities related to the production of goods and services are known as industry. The industries are further classified under different categories. There are different types of industries are there. The first one, let me learn about the different kinds of classification of industry. The first one is extractive industries. These industries include activities in rising or extracting from the soil, climate, air, water, all from beneath the surface of the earth. Agriculture, fishing, mining, etc. are the examples. These are the industries where nature does everything and man does very little to add to it. This is called extractive industry. And the second one is genetic industries. These industries are engaged in reproducing and multiplying of certain species of animals and plants with the object of earning profit from their sale. Nature, climate, and environment plays an important role in this type of industries. But human skill is also important. Nurseries, cattle breeding, poultry farms are all comes under this genetic industries. The third one is manufacturing industry. This industry is concerned with the working of raw materials or partly finished materials into furnished products or to produce the final products. In these industries, role of nature is very less and man takes the major part of the work. Example, engineering, textile, and steel industries, etc. This comes under the manufacturing industries. And fourth one is construction industries. These are engaged in the construction of buildings, roads, dams, bridges, and canals. These industries use the products of manufacturing and extractive industries. The first industry is nothing but service industries. Service industries provide the necessary services directly or indirectly. For example, take banks, insurance companies, warehouses, etc. comes under service industry. Okay, this all comes under industry. So now already we learned the different type of business. What is business? Economic activities, business, trade, industry, commerce, types of trade, types of industry, hindrances to trade, and everything already we learn. And next one is